Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner have cemented themselves as the best two young players in tennis at just their respective age of 22 and 24. The question is, who is going to be the next future star to really break out and start cementing their legacy? 5 names, 5 very different types of players. And in this video, I'll be breaking down some of their best results, what's working well for them, and the reason why they haven't quite lived up to their names as of yet. My name is Drew Wygan, and welcome back to the Touch of Class show. The 5 names that I will be covering in this video are Arthur Fils out of France, Jakub Mensik out of the Czech Republic, Joao Fonseca from Brazil, Learner Tien from the United States of America, and Holger Rune out of Denmark. Shout out to Tennis Abstract and the ATP official website, as I use both of them to gather data to create this video. Let's first start with Holger Rune, as he burst onto the scene at just 19 years of age in 2022. He reached the quarterfinals of Grand Slam Roland Garros, which is extremely impressive for someone of his age. He then went on to win his first Masters 1000 in Paris against Novak Djokovic, a legend of the game still playing at a super high level at the time. Then in 2023, he continued this great start to his career as he made it to the Monte Carlo Masters 1000 finals, unfortunately losing out to Andrei Rublev. His success continued on clay, though, as he then went to the Rome final as well, where he lost out to Medvedev, another Russian player. Since 2023, reaching that highest ranking of number 4 in the world, he has had a little bit of struggles. In 2024, he didn't see himself into the finals of any Masters 1000 tournament, but in 2025, that changed at Indian Wells when he made it all the way to the final, unfortunately losing out to Jack Draper. Now, his best win of his career thus far has been his 2025 Barcelona title, as he defeated Carlos Alcaraz on the clay. Carlos's home event, one that he is so prided on winning. Holger's game is very unique. He is a clay court specialist that loves to play from the baseline. It's very exciting to see when he's playing well and when he's using that aggression to his advantage. Now, the only downfall of his game right now is that he's injured, and the best ability is availability. He unfortunately suffered an Achilles injury, which has kept him out most of this year, and will continue to keep him out. The only question remaining for Holger Rune is, will he be the same player after this Achilles injury? And will he be able to stick with a coach for a number of years ahead, rather than the coaching carousel that we've seen over these past 3 to 4 years? The next player I want to talk about is Learner Tien out of the United States of America. At just 19 years old right now, he is having quite the start to his professional tennis career. In 2025, he made it all the way to the Shanghai round of 16. And now in 2026, he is in the Indian Wells quarterfinals and will be facing off against Jannik Sinner tomorrow. We've also seen Learner play very well in Australia, as last year he made it to the round of 16, and this year he made it all the way to the quarterfinals. An incredible feat for someone at just 19 years of age. He currently finds himself ranked number 25 in the world, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be slowing down anytime soon. Learner Tien plays a very interesting style. The left-hander relies on defense rather than power. Each match feels like a war of attrition rather than him just smashing forehand after forehand like some of the other players on this list. This style of tennis has really been a breath of fresh air over his first year and a half on tour, as we're used to seeing so many players just solely focus on having a dominant forehand and serve. Now, the question surrounding Learner will be, can he really develop power? At only 19 years old, there's plenty of room to grow, but that's what's holding him back right now, and that's what's going to hold him back this season. Speaking of smashing forehands, let's now talk about Joao Fonseca, the tennis prodigy as he's been labeled out of Brazil. After breaking on tour at just 17 years of age and being coined the prodigy, he's had kind of a rocky start to his career. Now, he's only 20 years old and there's plenty of room to grow, but we saw an increase in 2025. He went to the Indian Wells quarterfinals, in Miami, another quarterfinal appearance, and in Monte Carlo, a third Masters 1000 in a row, making it to the quarterfinals. Now, in 2026, he has made it to the round of 16 at the Indian Wells, and last night he played an incredible match against Jannik Sinner, taking him to a double tiebreak. He might have lost in both sets, but that match, if you really watch it, you see Joao Fonseca's game, and he passes the eye test. Fonseca's game is centered all around that massive forehand that he has. We saw it on display last night as he hit a 119-mile-per-hour winner straight at Jannik Sinner, which he was able to dodge somehow. But Jannik was constantly going after his backhand, the weak part of his game right now. I mean, he's serving the ball at 130 mile an hour plus consistency. And the forehand winners that he's able to create just elevate him to that level that we see out of the Carlos and Yannicks. One of the other major components holding Fonseca back is unfortunately his mental fortitude. He can be a very aggressive player. And yes, while that creates many winners for him, it also creates a lot of unforced errors. And if you're going to be able to succeed at the top, winning Grand Slam after Grand Slam, that is something that he is going to have to overcome. He's going to need to bring a more calmness to his style of play. The question for Joao Fonseca is, of course, can he balance that aggression with composure going forward? Now we'll move on to the 6'5" giant that is Jakub Mensik. This dude has a massive serve, and he's also come on striking hot to the ATP Tour. In just his second year, he took his first Masters 1000 title home, defeating Novak Djokovic in the Miami Masters 1000. He then followed that win up with a Madrid quarterfinals appearance, an incredible little streak of games and matches to put himself higher in the rankings. Now, in 2026, he finds himself ranked number 12 in the world after reaching the round of 16 at the Australia Open and the semifinals in the Qatar Open. Despite those results that I've just listed, though, there hasn't been much success for Mensik outside of the Masters 1000 tournaments where he went foreign. Yes, he is an incredible player with one of the better serves on tour right now. It is absolutely monstrous. And when he's serving at a high rate, he's virtually unplayable. And we saw that with his win in Qatar over Jannik Sinner. His backhand is also phenomenal. Where he's let down is his forehand, as it's just a bit weak, and his mobility doesn't help him save points that he needs to be reacting to on the defensive side of the ball. The question for Jakub Mensik is, was Miami a one-off? Is he really that type of player, the one that can beat Novak Djokovic? Or is he just someone that's going to fade away after winning one Masters 1000 title? Finally, we have the high-powered, energized Frenchman, Arthur Fils. Now, Arthur Fils probably plays the most similar to a Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz at the moment. He covers a lot of the court, he has a decent serve on him, and his forehand is absolutely crushing. Despite coming onto the scene in 2022, Fils hasn't really done much in those first 3 years. It wasn't until 2025 when he really started to make a name for himself. He made it to the Indian Wells quarterfinals, then the Miami quarterfinals, and then finishing it off with a third in a row quarterfinal appearance at the Monte Carlo Masters 1000 on clay. Fils also has a round of 16 appearance at the Rome Masters 1000 and made it to the quarterfinals of Wimbledon in 2024. He has an incredible style about him as he's able to play on the baseline, charge the net, use different types of shot to score all types of points. With Fils reaching a world rank of number 14, he clearly has the skill to keep going. The problem with Fils' game, though, is that he is a bit too risky at times and he makes too many unforced errors, especially during a rally when he had just scored an incredible point, maybe off of a drop shot or an 100-mile-plus forehand winner. He then will smash a backhand into the net and get disgruntled with himself. He himself has also had some injury problems. He had that back injury last year, which kept him out for most of the second half and kind of lingered into the start of this year as he missed the Australian Open. So the question for Fils is, can he kind of tame his game a bit more, but also can he stay healthy? As the best ability is availability, as I said before when discussing Holger Rune. Now, all 5 of these players have very exciting careers awaiting for them. But the question I want to know is who is going to have the best 2026? Well, it can't be Holger Rune because unfortunately he will be injured for a majority of it. I personally don't think it'll be Learner Tien as he is just a bit too young, only 19 years old and not enough experience. It's not going to be Jakub Mensik because his game is not the most well-rounded, and if his serve isn't on, then he's not going to be playing at a high level. That just leaves Arthur Fils and Joao Fonseca. And now I'm having a really tough time deciding between these two as both are so riveting and they play such an exciting brand of tennis. It's fireworks when these guys step out onto the court. But for me, I think Joao Fonseca is going to take the edge this year. I think his game is just becoming more and more impressive. And what's really intriguing about him is I think he's finally starting to conquer that mental fortitude aspect that I spoke about earlier. We see him staying in matches longer. Again, yesterday versus Jannik Sinner, he went down a break in that second set, and you would expect a young player like him to maybe crumble, start making loads of unforced errors, and just kind of collapse. But instead, he broke back against Jannik. He brought that second set to a tiebreak and really put the pressure on him. Now, I'm by no means an expert in any of this. These are just my opinions, and this was just a bit of fun as a video I wanted to make. If you have differing opinions, leave them down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe as I have plenty more tennis and football content coming your way. I'm live every Monday and Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.